All right, welcome to another edition of After the Whistle Wednesday, May 19th, 2021. Time is flying, and we are here on a nice day outside where some of us need to be out there getting a tan, like myself.
I don't know why you talking he need a tan, bro. Shut up, man. You know who need a tan in the room.
I'm pale. I'm getting pale.
You ain't African black?
Yeah.
Is that why? You black enough, bro. I want to hear that. He's from Africa, so.
Yeah, well, some people don't think I am because I'm not dark enough.
Nah, your brother ain't dark enough. Nah, he like to be.
That little boy. Hopefully he gets a.
You got one brother all the color, another brother got no color.
That little one.
You in the middle.
Yeah, that little one. He needs. He needs some sun in his life. I was like, damn. Shoot, what we starting off today? Oh man, got a lot to talk about in this hour that y'all have with us, man. I mean, we'll start off again with some WWE. So this time it was Shawn Michaels, and I must say that episode was kind of depressing.
I haven't watched any of it. Is it similar to the series we was talking before? Is it similar to that, or they just use different characters, like different fighters?
No. It's
similar.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah, it's like they just talk about their life, but with Shawn Michaels, they was talking about his life. It was depressing. Like the whole episode, his whole time in WWE was depressing because he started using coke. Started sniffing coke after him and Marty Jannetty started hanging out together and stuff. Like them two were wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Said their first contract with WWE didn't last a day because they got fired a day because they started a bar fight. Allegedly, they said they just got blamed for it, and then they got fired after that. And then he was going into details like when he first won the WWE title, he was depressed, suicidal, and all that. It was.
From what I hear, being a wrestler is one of the toughest things, bro. Because for one, it's a scripted. You know what I mean? It's scripted entertainment.
Yeah.
Sport entertainment, and then it's like the grind you put your body through, the mental grind, the physical grind, painkillers. Yeah. Painkillers stop working. You gotta go to something else stronger.
Yeah. And on the road pretty much the whole year. I think we do like 200, 300 shows.
And the way like people think their road trips are, no way in shape or form what they really are. Like these guys basically do things on their own. Like, maybe now they got more money behind them, but when we were watching wrestling, them guys was driving their own cars from state to state.
Yeah, especially when they're doing independent promos and stuff like that. It's like you do one show here, then you gotta, right after that show, you gotta drive to another place. I mean, like the Booker T one, they were driving. Their thing was every weekend. It was their show. They was driving from Houston to Dallas every weekend. So,
and especially if you're a guy who wants an opportunity, you're gonna drive from wherever they tell you, "We're gonna be here such and such time." Yeah. Make sure you get your stuff.
Yep.
It's just one of them things, man. They don't. I want to say now they're getting the benefits. Yeah. Reaping the benefits that they deserve, but the wrestlers from back in the day, they need to get something. Yeah.
Definitely because them painkillers. Because first he went from drugs and alcohol, then it went to painkillers because he was doing that, and he said it was like one day his son. He was home and he fell asleep while his son was there because he had to take some pills, and his son was just like, Daddy's asleep, telling his mom, and then that's when he was just like, he had to look himself in the mirror and change it. Problem. Yeah, he was like, he had to change it.
And too, mental health was never an issue back when we were younger, so now it's definitely an issue, and they probably should reach out to these retired wrestlers and just see where their heads are at.
But with him now he's like he's working with the new and up and coming wrestler, that NXT stuff that they do.
You know what's crazy? My mom watches that.
Yeah, he's one of the coaches.
Not a lot, but like
I think him, Triple H, Marty. Him and Triple H. He's like one of the coaches that actually puts them through.
And I'll be honest too, wrestling is like one of the main sports where you should have everybody evaluated every year for mental health, concussions and all of that. Because after Chris Benoit, there should have been like a big thing on mental health. Ooh. After that, we didn't really hear anything.
Yeah, That Chris Benoit. That thing was just like, that kind of got like brushed under the rug. After that happened, it was like everybody was quiet about it. Nobody talked to it. You know, WWE kind of WWE kind of like just pretty much erased him from.
And that's the problem. Like, we live in a country where people don't want to look at the ugliest of the ugly. Yeah. That's why we're still in the stuff we're in today. Yeah. Because people don't want to admit the faults of their ancestors or the faults of themselves. Yeah. And that's the problem. When you sweep stuff under the rug, we don't shed the light on the right area that should be shed upon. Yeah, definitely. And that Chris Benoit one, that should have been like, whoa. I mean, we need because I remember when that happened, and I remember when it happened, I saw the headlines, then I saw the details, and I was like, wow. And I was a fan of Chris Benoit, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, you don't really think, like, crazy, but then you find out after the fact, you're like, I knew he was off. Yeah. We just didn't think it was, like seriously him, you know what I mean? That was the character itself, but sometimes these guys can't separate themselves from the character. Yeah, and you see some of them, they can't, you know, life after wrestling is hard for them because they just can't separate. I mean, look at Scott Hall. He had a hard time just separating wrestling, just him, the wrestling character, from his real life. He had a long time before he like finally, you know, got that. I mean, when you walk into every venue, any store, any place that has a roof and they know your name, it's kind of hard to just humble yourself. Yeah. But you can't go anywhere without people knowing you. At least like some basketball players, football players, they can go places. You're a wrestler. You're known by everyone. And you're like 6'8". Yeah, and you're like you're abnormally sized human beings. So even if you like, they don't even know your name, they know you wrestle. Yeah. Like. You know who this name that folks know now? The Wizards know, especially Jason Tatum. The buckets he was giving them last night. I just didn't understand the Wizards' strategy. They know this all-star star Bradley Beal is pretty much hampered, and they want to put him on the Celtics' best scorer, who happened to have like 7 inches taller than him. It made absolutely no sense. Why did they put Hachimura on him? I have no idea. But remember, this is the Wizards, and this is why they are the Wizards. One thing I will say, unfortunately, Brown's out, but this opens the door for Tatum to be that guy. To be like the guy. Because he doesn't have to share. Granted, I love Brown. We'd be a better team with Brown on the court. But Tatum's now showing that like he might be in that Paul Pierce realm. I was going to say, looks like, because they were running that pass it to Will offense with Tatum. Because, you know, we talked about some of the role play. Granted, Kemba had 29. Yeah. But everybody else was a stinker. And just looking at this. Hold on, Tristan. Tristan came out. Yeah, Tristan. Double. Off the bench. But going forward, as they move on to the Nets, because Tatum could get 50, 55, and you're just going up against a fully healthy team, and it's like, God, it's like, damn. Like, this is the worst times to have your second leading scorer out. And now you're going against a team that's pretty much getting all their guys back, so it's like he's going to have to go to another level. But the only thing I see Tatum having in his favor is he got to the free throw line 17 times. So if he can figure out how to consistently get to the free throw line and slow the game down and keep points on the board, they're not going to win still against the Nets, but they'll be in better shape. But they just don't have a full squad. They could have a full squad. They could make it. They could make it a little bit interesting. Maybe win 1 or 2 games. But me just looking at this, you know, what we got here? We got 15. We got 20 bench points out of 118 points. Oh, you talking about the Celtics? The Celtics, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're not doing much this year. We're not, and I don't. Because it's like, who's gonna? It's just that. Let's talk about the Wizards though. They really shot 14% from the 3. They were horrible. 3 for 21. They were just horrible. They were just horrible. I mean, Bradley Beal. I mean, he's coming out. He missed pretty much the tail end of the season because of the hamstring injuries. But then everybody else, it was terrible. And once again, this play-in nonsense. And I'm just like I said, I get it, but like games like this, when you see the outcome of this, like this was nothing but a game to get somebody hurt. Right. Because 18-point win and the other win was a slacking. Yeah, it's like so I was like, what is the point even putting these games together? They're not even be competitive, and that's what we was talking before. They should only be against teams that are like head to head, that need that one up on each other. And
in normal circumstances, these two teams would be the last two teams seeded. It'd be 7 and 8. So it was.
So why would you? Even...
It made no. Absolutely,
East and West. In all reality, once again, it shouldn't matter what divisions, what. Depending on who is placed and how many games back somebody is, then you do a play-in. But if not, you just start the regular season of the playoff.
Because we're probably gonna get the same matchups that we probably would have got if this was a regular postseason matchup schedule or whatever. But yeah, I don't understand it. And the Wizards, they're just not a good team. They got a lot of talent, but they're just not that good. Like, granted, they finished the season strong, but they're just not that good. And then the Celtics, they've had issues all year, especially with guys in and out of the lineup. So I just hope they don't quit in this matchup against the Nets, because the Nets could get overwhelming, especially offensively, when you think you're doing something well and they're just out there just scoring at making difficult shots, because they got 3 guys who can make difficult shots. So, and the past 2 postseasons, these guys have quit because when things got tough, they just ended up quitting. So I don't want to see that. I just want to see some fight in this team. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some changes for in the offseason with the Celtics. Quickly, let's talk about the other game, Pacers and the Hornets, which wasn't really much of a game. The Hornets showed you why they were 33 and 39, and then the Pacers are 34 and 38. I was like, why are we having sub 500 teams even considered for a playoff spot? It's kind of ridiculous. This is going into this whole participation trophy nonsense that the sports world seems to be going through, and this is starting at the high school level and above.
You gotta remember, these people are getting these positions in these jobs now, so they're trying to change it, but in all reality, it ain't gonna change, because they're gonna be reminded that they don't know anything about the game, and just stay in your position and just do your job. But for the Pacers, I didn't think this was any competition for the Pacers at all. You know, Pacers had 8 players with over 10 points. I almost said over 15, because a couple guys had 14 points. So basically, they shot 46% from the 3. The Hornets 30. It was just a bad game for the Hornets, but we expect this out of the Hornets. Then you got Sabonis with 14, 21, and 9.
I mean, the 2 oldest players on the Hornets are 2 guys who are basically role players, Zeller and Biombo. Oh, I mean, Brad Wanamaker's there too, but he's not really a factor. It's like, so just a whole bunch of young guys for the Hornets, and for them to be in this position.
They got bullies. Then they got out rebound, like 18.
Yeah. And the Pacers were doing this without Miles Turner too, one of their best players. And you look at TJ McConnell coming off the bench and giving you it just seemed like the Pacers were more into the game than the Hornets were. The Hornets felt like they just wanted their season to be over. They were ready for vacation.
I think the team was half and half. I think half the team wanted to go to the playoffs, the other half wanted to just go on vacation. But I want to see the Pacers overall better team. They just bully them dudes, bro.
Yeah, but once again, we're having a matchup with 2 teams that are sub 500 that, both. One team got 33 wins, the other got 34 wins. So it's like, really, congratulations, you got the final spot. Well, they're gonna play the Wizards. The Pacers and the Hornets are gonna play Thursday for that 8th spot, which absolutely makes no sense. This whole thing makes no sense. But congratulations, you get that, and you have to play Philly in the first round, which probably gonna end up in a sweep. So yeah, there's that. I mean, the NBA really didn't think this through, and they said this was all part so tanking could stop. But if it was normal circumstances, some of the games at the end of the season, if this was a normal playoff, it would have, even if it was normal, it wouldn't even mattered. So it's like, why did we even do this?
Man, we already talked about this.
Well, we do have one intriguing play-in that's happening tonight, and the Warriors and the Lakers. And this is intriguing for a whole bunch of reasons, and the main reason is because it's a one game for, I think, the 7th or 8th spot or whatever, and it's Steph, LeBron, AD, and everybody knows one game with Steph, we're going back to March Madness, because this is what it seems like right now. It's going to be very interesting, but the Lakers do have the best defense in the league.
I mean, for Curry, he has no choice. So he's going to have to do that, but I don't see them. Like, Curry comes to play, but the rest of the team just kind of stands and watches for the most part.
Yeah.
And because of the way they play, they have no choice but to stand and watch, because Curry's not really a driver; he's a 3-point shooter. So at least they can do is crash. But
crash or cut. Yeah. Do something, because if you cut, you'll get a wide open layup. But the thing that's annoying about these Warriors teams, they get a lot of open shots. The role players, they get a lot of open shots and they just don't make it. And it's just like, dude, you have one job. You're getting wide open shots. The best players getting double teamed. Like, make the shots when you need to make them, especially in this type of series, because they're gonna need to make the shots because the Lakers are definitely gonna get the ball out of his hands. And the Lakers, I think they're only missing like one player. I think they're missing Shooter, but that don't really make a difference. It's just AD's back, LeBron's back,
and all them. I want to say them. What do you call them? Bandwagon Warrior fans. You don't really hear much about them now. Yeah, because they're not. They aren't functioning like Transformers anymore. Just running through the teams. Yeah. So now it's just this. I told you, this is Steph Curry I like to watch. I like watching Steph Curry when he has to compete like AI. Yeah. When his back's against the wall, when he's the smallest guy out there. Yeah. So it's gonna be overall good game. It's overall good game, but it's just funny I haven't heard no Warriors fans now.
I hope it's a good game because I ain't about to stay up and watch this if it's a blowout.
Oh, I'm not gonna stay up and watch it. I'm only gonna watch maybe the first quarter or two.
I'll be watching the Warriors then.
Nah, man.
Especially the last game they played.
I'm getting up in the morning. They ain't messing up my morning. I get to the gym. They don't lift the weights for me.
And then the other playing game that's happening tonight is the Spurs and the Grizzlies. Once again, one team 33 and 39, which is the Spurs, and the Grizzlies are 38 and 34, which I honestly don't. Once again, I don't understand this one with the records. And also the Grizzlies, Ja Morant need to learn how to shoot the ball. For all the razzle dazzle stuff he does, teams have just been forcing him to shoot, and he just. I mean, I would have thought he would have worked on it a little bit coming into his second year, but it's kind of bad because some of the shots that they give him is like, I think these are the shots he should be capable of making, especially when they're dropping back on you, daring you to shoot.
Well, only I can say it's only his second year. Some people don't figure it out their sophomore year. It takes him a little more time, and he gets away with all that. Being super athletic, so until they completely take that away from him, he's not gonna figure that out yet.
Yeah, he gotta figure that out because at some point we saw what happened to some players when they never developed a jump shot and just relied on athleticism. After like their third or fourth year, teams were kind of like, all right, you're not getting to the cup, and if you do, you get a hard foul. So he's gonna have to figure that out. But the Spurs, the last couple of years, they just been like not what we've known the Spurs to be. Usually they'd be decent, hovering around 500, but it's just like they're just the whole bottom feeders now.
I mean, no different than franchises that were on top for a long period of time. They're gonna have a decent amount of time at the bottom. Yeah, that's just how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, so. Look at the Warriors; they're actually considered a storied franchise now. They never were before Curry and them got there. Yeah. So that's how it goes, man. But they'll be back at the bottom. When Curry and them leave.
Ooh. All right, so more NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs starts this weekend. We are starting the playoffs, and we got first round. We're going to preview a couple games. First round, Mavs versus Clippers. This is a rematch of last year's first round where I believe the Mavericks lost to the Clippers 4-2. They're going right back at it. The Clippers are fully healthy. They got all their guys back, even their rotation players, and they're like 40 and like 10 or 11 when Kawhi and Paul George are on the floor. And it's gonna be an interesting matchup because Clippers did a better team, but Dallas got shooters, so Dallas could keep this game close with their shooting, and because they started off the season terrible from shooting the three, and then throughout the season their offense got better.
I'll be honest, man. Like, I respect everybody out there playing, but I just don't like watching certain teams. This ain't a playoff matchup I really want to watch, bro. Them teams are entertaining to me as a whole. Sorry. I'm not entertained. Luke is cool and all, but I don't really like watching anybody else on Dallas other than, like, Mr. Holloway. They don't really, I mean, young Brunson, you know what I mean? Yeah. Daddy home state product. But other than that, like, you know me, man. Certain teams just don't sit well with me. I don't know.
Well, people are saying the Clippers, they lost the last game of the season because they were ducking the Lakers because they didn't want to play them in the first round. Which I was like, all right, they already had their seed, and there was no point of playing their starters and stuff. So how can you duck someone?
And too, like the Clippers, we live in this. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Or what have you done last? So last thing I saw was balls off the backboard, all type of stuff. So I got to see what they're gonna bring.
Yeah, this postseason for them is they need a redemption. But maybe not being in the bubble can do a lot for them because I already said it. There was a lot of teams and a lot of players that were already over that bubble and didn't care if they won or lost the postseason. So now that they're out, they actually could redeem themselves and they look a lot better. Some of the terrible tendencies that they had last year, they don't have it this year. They've given up big leads or not playing as hard. So
they got a full year together, so they're able to finally figure each other out.
Yeah, and they got a good rotation of players that mesh well with each other. Another one, the Blazers and the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets gonna win this series just because the Nuggets. The Blazers are gonna win this series because I think the Nuggets are just. Jokic could do only so much, and we're not sure if some of those other guys are ready to take the leap or take the next step into into getting them into a championship. And also Murray's out, so
yeah, that's usually. I mean, Jokic is your guy, but Murray's the one that keeps the team afloat. Mm-hmm. So when you're keying in on Jokic, Murray can get some points in. So he's got to see what what's his name does.
Porter?
Yeah, Michael Porter does. I don't think he's going to put up the production that Murray was just because Murray's in the mode. He's playing for a certain amount of years. Porter's still getting acclimated to fully understand the offense. Mm-hmm. Fully being comfortable in the role. So I think it'll be a competitive series, but, I'm going Portland anyways because I'm a mellow guy.
Yeah, me too.
And McCollum, so I like Portland. So
me too. I like that. I like how they play. I wish they never traded Gary Trent Jr. because I liked him on that squad, what he was doing. But these guys, they definitely, and this core kind of been together for a while too, and they got the whole season.
I'll be honest, Gary Trent was cool. He ain't better than Powell though. No, he ain't. Powell do it all.
Probably. I just like watching Gary Trent.
Trent can shoot that thing. He was automatic, but he just Powell dunk on you and do it all.
This Portland team.
Too.
Yeah, this Portland team. If there was a team you would keep an eye on that may sneak into the finals, it's if some of the other teams mess up, it's them. All right, we got another rematch in the East. The Heat and the Bucks. Both of these teams actually been playing well to end the season. The Heat finally healthy. I think they had like 2 months where there was just guys in and out of the lineup, and Jimmy Butler missed something like 20 games, and then once he got back in, it was all systems go for them. And it's another one. These two teams match up very well. It all relies on if Giannis can be able to make jump shots because these guys are going to give him jump shots and build a wall around him like they did last year.
He's been trying to shoot a little more certain games, but he resorts back to the old Giannis and try to run through everybody and try to get a dunk like I'm on a Fisher-Price hoop. We get it, but no. You got to understand, make the game easy for yourself so you can get those open looks and be able to go through the lane and do all that. But I'm a Drew Holiday fan. A lot of people thought he was going to completely change how Milwaukee played. He improved it a little bit, but they still have some bad habits. I'm always going to root for my Heat, so it don't even matter who they're playing unless it's the Celtics.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think this year, I think the Bucks this year have more understanding of what it takes to get to the next level because of that disappointment. Whatever what the Heat did to them last year is kind of that sour taste they had in their mouth. They have a better understanding of what they need to do. And these two teams just match up well with each other for something. This might be one of them series that goes 7 games just because basketball is all about a game of matchups. And you got two teams that match up very well. It's like, it's going to be a seesaw. And also, when you go to Miami, there's a lot of things to do on your free time that you just can't resist, even if it's playoff time. So,
especially if you live in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Let's be real. You in some others, you in New York or something, you ain't worried too much about Miami. You in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that home court advantage in Miami, it just doesn't extend on the basketball court. It extends to extracurricular activities. So, if you see 20-point wins in Miami, you don't know these guys were out for a while because, There's just so many options, so many things to do.
It's warm.
And it's warm. And there's just so many things to do. Even if you don't want to do anything, you're just walking down the street, you might see something popping. The next thing you know, it's 4 a.m. and the sun's about to come up and you're supposed to be getting ready for a game. Now you got to recover from a headache that you didn't intend on happening. All right, and then the New York Knicks are in the postseason, and they will be playing the Atlanta Hawks. Both teams 41-31. Knicks playing hard defense and efficient offense. Hawks, not so much on the defensive side, but they put them shots up on this one. This is going to be a matchup of interesting styles.
I'll be honest, bro. I don't care about this series either, man. We know neither one of them teams is going deep. Pause. Like, Knicks are cool. I would like the Knicks a little more if the whole East Coast, New York, Jersey, didn't act like, really New York, didn't act like it was like they're the number 1 seed. Like, bro, you made the playoffs cool. Like, be gracious like the rest of the U.S. And then Atlanta, like, I don't think they have enough.
Another place where extracurricular activities will get the best of you is Atlanta. And also, I just can't. This whole Knicks thing is starting to get on my nerves because I'm seeing all these people who cover basketball who keep saying that the NBA is good when the Knicks are good, as if we haven't seen the Knicks be terrible for 20 years and the NBA's product was still good. So I just can't stand when I hear that. Like, the NBA's better when the Knicks are good.
But even when they're good, they don't win.
Right.
So how is the NBA good if they're good if they don't win? I mean, other teams are winning.
Yeah. The only thing good about the Knicks winning is that they're in New York, the media capital of the world. That's
Nobody ever wants to hear New York media whine and crying because they got more reporters than anybody.
Yeah. So this whole notion that the NBA is good whenever the Knicks are good is just some nonsense, because the Knicks have been terrible for so long and the NBA has still been good or even better.
The NBA is good when the Celtics and the Lakers are good.
Mm-hmm. And the Bulls too. Here and there. There's like certain franchises that are good, but to his point, yeah.
We only talk legendary franchises.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Bulls come in third.
And the Knicks are an overrated franchise. Like, those guys, they've never been good. So whatever. Kick rocks, New Yorkers.
Talking about the same amount of rings as Toronto, right?
Yeah.
1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
All right, some other NBA. The Sixers are going to play the winner of the Hornets and Wizards, which we know that's going to be a sweep. And then in the West, the Suns and Jazz are going to play one of these playing teams. So imagine if you're the Utah Jazz, you get the number 1 seed, and your first round matchup is the Lakers. Yeah.
Well, honestly, that would be the test for Utah to show the world that we're serious. Because I don't believe you. Moot don't believe you.
Nobody believes you.
Nobody believes y'all.
They don't believe you.
Like, you put all that purple on, you better kill.
For real. All right, let's go to we're going to come back with some more NBA stuff, but let's go to some high school football highlights. Season finale with Lynn English at Chelsea. Check these highlights out.
Oh, yeah, they changed the color uniform, though. Yeah.
All right, and we are back. Okay, some more NBA. This is an NBA heavy show today. Let's go into NBA Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame ceremony took place over the weekend. Some notables: Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Tamika Catchings, Kim Mulkey, college basketball coach, Baylor. Now she's at LSU.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant, Rudy T. They were all inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame. It was kind of Vanessa Bryant had to do the speech for Kobe, and I don't know about you, but I think I get a little uncomfortable watching her talk about Kobe just because it's just uncomfortable to see her having to do all this, especially
on her own.
Yeah,
no real support.
And she's still grieving because it's only been a year, but it's like I don't know anybody that would be able to do all that in front of all these people.
I personally just don't like watching somebody else talk about somebody else that's not here. And I don't really like seeing your spouse talk about you in an event that you should have been at, or you could have when your parents speak about you. You know what I mean?
The relationship with the parent.
Huh?
You know the relationship.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you could have had one of your peers, like Joe, and somebody could have, one of your best friends could have maybe spoken on your behalf.
Yeah.
Granted. Yeah. I don't like his wife having to be under the spotlight of all that. Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure she'd rather be somewhere not doing that, because it's just a little uncomfortable to watch.
But then on the flip side of it, she might want to be able to just to voice how she felt about her husband, and how he felt about everybody that he was around at that moment. So that could kind of be her final say, her final piece.
Yeah, I hope so, because it's
like Kobe rest and let her live her life for her daughters and stuff.
Yeah, because it just gotta be draining for a family to just keep on doing this. Because first you had, and I was listening to a podcast, they talked about it. The right time he talked about how she had to do this last year at the funeral, address all the folks, and then all the other stuff that she had to deal with, afterwards. And then now it's like a full year, and now you have to address folks again. Granted for a good moment, but it's like it's kind of like giving another eulogy.
Yeah, it's kind of like beating a horse in the ground. But you know what I mean? I don't like how on the media and stuff is kind of beating it. It's like, come on, let her live a little. I don't know. I just don't like the facade of it. I just didn't like it. I didn't even watch her whole. I watched a minute of her speech. This made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable to watch. For me, it's very uncomfortable to watch because I'm just like that person. She's still grieving. I don't want to see a grieving person just try to. Yeah,
it's like you're trying to do something. It's like you should be able to just sit down and cry. However you're feeling, you should be able to feel that way instead of covering it up just for public and for an award. Kobe could have waited a year. You know what I mean? He's not here, so what's the urgency? Just to make people feel good to know he's in the Hall of Fame? End of the day, she's still going home by herself with her kids, with no man. So it's like...
Yeah, she still gotta... Yeah, she gotta carry the bag. She gotta do all this other stuff.
All this publicity stuff, really, I'm sure she appreciates it, but she's like, I'm trying to move on.
Yeah, so... but yeah, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Also, KG and Tim Duncan were in. I think people were expecting to get the little more intense KG. This was for his speech. No, KG when he does speeches, he's a little wild. But this was a much more calm KG, and it's like, yo, he's very calm about this. He's trying to articulate himself as properly as he can and not trying to be Mr. Intensity all the time.
Well, it's his biggest speech in his life. He got his daughters there too. Yeah. So I'm sure his daughters aren't always around when he's playing and doing the shows and stuff. But when you're something like that, you better speak that you get some sense. Yeah. I'm sorry, don't be sounding all ridiculous at the Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah, that's true.
At least you got some sense, bro. Yeah. And it's like you're older now, you're an elder statesman, so you gotta present yourself a little better.
They should have gave him 2 speeches. One and a no filter speech. Cause the no filter speech probably would have got us a little more entertaining. It was overall a good ceremony, and they were all stunning. Congratulations to Tamika Catchings as well, so for getting her just due and all she did for the game, not only for the women's game, but just for the game globally.
And what she did for women, hearing impaired women that play basketball.
Yeah, definitely.
Because she's one of those. She's definitely legit hearing impaired because you hear her talk, you can tell. Yeah. And she was a stellar athlete. And then she grew over and she Kobe, right?
Yeah.
Out there in Italy, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's greatness.
Greatness. All right, and the class of 2021 was announced, and finally, Chris Webber finally getting his just due. They finally, after all this nonsense, they finally putting him in. Paul Pierce, Ben Wallace, just to name some of the guys that are going to highlight 2021 in the fall. And this is just going to be big for Chris Webber because we all know he should have been in there years ago, but politics and all that other nonsense that really ain't have none people's personal feelings and whatever. But it's good for Chris Webber. The speech will be interesting.
Yeah. Paul Pierce getting in the Hall of Fame. That's what's up, man. I'm rooting for
him and Bill Russell too. Bill Russell getting in again as a coach.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about Chris Webber. Like, you know me, like whatever. Like he didn't get in. There's people's choices. I like Chris Webber as a basketball player. I don't care that much if he gets in or not. You know, Paul, I think he's well deserving. Yeah. You know, me being a Celtics fan, him winning one for us, him being one of all-time leading scorers for the Celtics. Yeah. That's what I mean. I don't know what his numbers. I know he's a killer though. But, you know, Paul's a, Hall of Fame Celtic.
Yeah, that's another Celtics, and it's going to be good. I think Mike Gorman, I think there's going to be 3 Celtics getting on to this year. I think Mike Gorman is also getting in for the media. Okay. I think he got, I'm pretty sure Mike Gorman's in. So there's Bill Russell, Paul Pierce, and Mike Gorman. Three legendary people in the Celtics organization getting in. So another reason why Celtics, the NBA is great when the Celtics are great. Got stuff like this. Can you Knicks people say that you guys got 3 different Hall of Famers in 3 different categories? Annoying Knicks fan. Also, Ben Wallace, too. I give a kudos to Ben Wallace for getting in. Because there are a lot of debates about if he should be in or not, but I'm just like, dude got 4 Defensive Players of the Year awards. Numerous all-NBA defensive. And he kind of would help change the Pistons in this second half run, so he's very deserving.
People mostly only see offensive Hall of Famers. Yeah, they don't really understand the criteria of being a defensive Hall of Famer. Yeah, he fits the criteria.
Yeah, and he got the fro, so let that fro go in. But yeah, congratulations to all those players and coaches getting in. All right, let's go to the +1 interview. Lynn Classical women's head coach Mike Schena. I hope I pronounced your name right, Mike, but if I didn't, I'm sorry. Talk to him about winning the GBL Cup, and then we're going to come back and probably I'll wrap this up. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the +1 interview from my office. Today we have a special guest, Lynn Classical girls soccer coach. Coach Mike, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. How are you?
I am great. I'm great. You know, it's a nice day outside. It's hot.
So, it sure is. It feels like summer already. I'm getting excited.
I know. I'm not gonna complain about the hot weather after we did this. I bet you guys had quite the introduction to the GBL this season. In your first year as a GBL, your ladies won the GBL Cup. First, just talk to me about the process of getting to the season and getting ready for the season. Just talk to me about that.
Thank you very much to Nancy. Just to elaborate on what you said earlier. Talk about the season. Wow. Not the unknown was everything. As a coach, as a leader, as a parent, actually, is when you can't give these girls any answers on the season due to the fact that, all right, we're going to start in April. All right, we're going to start in May. All right, we're going to delay it another year. Is to keep them focused, number one, on their health, their well-being, and trying to be a part of their lives just to get that situation, kind of underway where you didn't know what was going to happen. So that was it. You couldn't even prepare. So, preparation was something that, you actually had to put soccer on hold and just, prepare for them as student athletes, as students, to get it, kind of get them focused. Mm-hmm. Lives, I guess, was the challenge. But they all, through that whole year or whatever it may be, and things are getting better, as we know. Yeah. I always told every one of these girls, was my line to them, and it's, listen, tough times don't last, but tough kids do. And at the end of, when I see that light at the end of the tunnel, we're going to prevail. We're going to prevail as students. We're going to prevail as a team. We're going to prevail as a family. And that was my focus through everything. And it was just, once we got the go ahead of being, getting out there and getting the approval with the city of Lynn to kind of get together, that's when it all started. You just felt it. You just felt it in their hearts. They were beyond the family. They just wanted it so bad just to get out there, and that's kind of how it started.
And also being in the Northeastern Conference for so many years now, the quick move to the GBL, playing different schools that normally you'd see in like a tournament, the state tournament, or maybe like a already scheduled game, but they're playing against a different level of competition. How did you think they were able to handle it? How were they? What would you say their mindsets were, or how well do you feel they were prepared for that challenge?
That's a great question. Obviously, the NEC, it was challenging last year for a lot of teams. When we were in the NEC last year, it was my first year with the team. We faced about 12 injuries right off the bat. So last year was kind of just to get the kids healthy. That was it. And the competition was great. Coming to the GBL, that's where I actually played when I was in high school. So it brought back a lot of cool memories just going back there. And I knew when you play in the Medfords of the world, the Reveres, all of them, you knew that they were out there and they had that same vision. They were as anxious as we were. And that was it. So coming there, we had to be prepared every step of the way, because it was almost like a mirror image of what you were playing against, or who you were as a team. And that was the challenging part, is to be prepared, because there's what we were facing was the same type of hunger that we had. So we had to be prepared every single game, because everybody was fighting out there. When I say fighting, giving everything they have to just win the games, and we had to be prepared every single game.
And it says a lot about their mental preparation for young, for all the stuff that's been happening the past years, and for the young kids, the high school students, just for them to be able to not only mentally get focused in the classroom with not being in the classroom, but then when you play athletics as well, that's a whole other mental focus. And it's like these type of situations, they could have they could have went one way or another, but we've seen a lot of students and a lot of students, athletes, be able to handle all this adversity, and at such a young age, for them to be able to handle this and just take it in stride and be ready for the moment. That's something that's going to last for them in their life as they move on going forward, knowing like they could handle certain things.
Something, you are 100% right, because like I said earlier, the unknown is, sometimes soccer gets just put on hold after what these kids have faced in the last year. And just having leadership, even if you're calling your seniors, which my 4 seniors, I am going to miss dearly. And I'm going to just give them a shout out, because they were a big part of this. Mary Collins, Kitty Mannion, Jessica Page, and Hannah Guthrie, all 4 leaders. They almost have to be big sisters through all this, keeping the girls focused. We did a lot of Zoom things together as a team, just for bonding moments, because that's the bonding we can only have, to focus on school through this. I mean, they really went through something in their lives that we as parents for the first time went through in our lives, and they had to almost grow up really quick. And I'll tell you, they did it, and I'm so proud of them. It's amazing. It's amazing what they've been through.
Yeah, definitely. Now, all right, now talk to me about the GBL Cup, just the tournament. Just talk to me about this inaugural GBL tournament, going through it. Just, talk to me from the first game until getting to the championship. Well, how is that? This is an inaugural tournament as well. This pretty much states the only thing they could do at this time. Is talk to me about this tournament.
All right, it was actually it was great for the GBL, and kudos to them for putting this together, because at the end of the day, it's, let's give these kids a little more games. Let's get these kids more focused on getting more excited about the year. And you know what? At the end, let's have a champion. it started out, and the good thing what they did too is everybody did make the tournament. We would have made it anyways. We finished 7-1-1, so we're excited about that. So we ended up first game of the GBL Cup. We ended up playing our rival. We played Lynn English, and they came to play that day. I got to be honest with you, and she does a great job over there, Abby. And we had our first game, and it was 0-0 for a little while. Then before you know, we just put the Jets on, and we ended up winning 2-0. But they came to play. That could have been anybody's game if you let it. So we were excited about that. It took a 2-0, and then of course when we finished the third seed, believe it or not, because Somerville and Medford were ahead of us, with they were both on the determined seeds. And then we had to go to Somerville, who was undefeated the year before and actually were the champs.
Yeah.
And I had to have my my A game ready, and I had a game plan with these girls. We stuck by our game plan. Kind of threw a wrench in a lot of things where we ended up taking them 3-0, which he was very surprised. He actually gave me a call, the coach over there, and said, "You know what? You all coach me. Your game plan was where it's at, but I can coach whatever as much as I can. These girls really have to perform out there. Players make players. And I always say it all the time. Coaches have game plans, and if they believe in you and they focus, they're the ones that have to perform. So we went to Somerville and actually took a 3-0, and that was a huge surprise. I wasn't surprised because I know our girls and how they play, and I was real happy. I actually told them before the game, this is a 3-0 game, and they looked at me like, really? I go, yep, trust me. And we went there, and it was fun. And then we found out that Revere won big. I think they beat Malden 7-1. I'm like, here we go. And we actually played Revere. It was our first game of the year. We tied them 2-2. So I knew it was going to be a game that was going to come down to the wire. And then I had to mix some things around because she was prepared. I knew she was prepared, and she had a vision of what I had all year. So I made a few adjustments, moved a few players here, there, and I kind of had a different attack, and we had a great game. And then our freshman Lauren Wilson come out of nowhere, and she put one in the net and off a cross from Mary Collins, and we took that 1-0 lead in the first half. We hung on because they came in the second half of Revere, and they were shooting from every angle possible, and likewise but Anna Flaherty made our goalie spectacular, which 7 shutouts in a row. I think that might be a school record also. Really stepped it up, and we ended up holding off with 15 seconds left. Well, I didn't know that at the time. I looked at it and I go, how much time? He said 15 seconds. And we had that ball, and I'm like, man, we got this. We got this. And right when that whistle blew, I just looked at all those girls just hugging each other, and it made my day just to see them all happy. And that's the goal that I accomplished. We had 3 goals before we started. And I said, first, let's stay healthy. All right. I go, second, let's get a winning season. And third, let's win this cup. And they prevailed on all 3 levels. And I am more than proud to be their coach.
Yeah, and also, you gotta also give you a shout out to their defense, because that a shutout, 1-0 shutout in the championship game. That's a lot of credit has to go to the defense that was played throughout the game, even when the attack was coming.
Oh, to say the least. I called them the 4 horsemen. Yeah. My 4 horsemen. And again, there was more. I had people off the bench. Don't get me wrong. When I say I got, Jessica Page, Kitty Mannion, Molly Mannion, who played D for the first time, and I had that vision before. I'm like, Molly, you got this. I know you're a great wingback, and she focused on that end there. And Ava Carenti, the 4 of them, and Amanda Tucker. Those 5 come out of nowhere, and they played a defense like I've never seen before throughout the year. They were just warriors back there, and they played the great game. You couldn't ask for a better package back there. And I was real happy to have them with me.
And you just talked about your seniors going out on a high note. Now, just talk about the group behind them, the underclassmen behind them. What did you hope that they learned from the season that that it's going to carry on into the season? Because I'm pretty sure there will be a normal season.
Yes,
in the fall. So you got it's kind of a short turnaround because you got couple months of summer training and all that camp. So just what do you hope the underclassmen learned from the
what they have learned? I got a huge junior class. I got 10 girls that are there, and if anything they've learned when just never give up from these 4 seniors. You know, I had Hannah Guthrie come off an ankle injury. She was out there hobbling, working hard. Just everything about her. When you looked at her face when she came off, just her breathing heavy. It's just leadership. That when you look at her, I'm like, there you go. That's a captain. Then you look at Kitty Mannion, loud on the field. Loud meaning setting the plays, talking to the girls, just being vocal in a positive manner. Mary Collins, MVP probably in the league, in my opinion. And I'm not even just saying that because she's one of mine. She was just unbelievable on that field. Every time she got off that field, didn't matter. Her job this year was to cover every top scorer on the other team. And you know what? All those top scorers didn't even get a goal. That's how she played. And I was proud of her on that. And then every other coach acknowledged that. And then Jess Page, just solid back there. I don't think I gave her a rest all year, the poor thing. But she, again, prevailed. Everything she did was with poise. Everything she did was with leadership. And again, she scored on a penalty shot, which I think was 4 for 4 with her 2 years with me. So I was excited about. But that's when you look at those 4 and you sit back and those are the ideal captains. That's what I'm looking for in a captain. And they just prevailed.
All right, definitely, Coach. Congratulations. This is big. This is a big momentum boost carrying on to next season. It's a great accomplishment that you and your ladies achieved this season.
Well, thank you. Sorry, I lost you for a second. I apologize.
No problem.
But yeah, I got you. It's our first cup. It's our first GBL championship at Classical. And the only thing is remember, at the end of the year, there's only one winner, no matter how you look at it. But if I can give these girls the high school experience that they deserve, that's what I'm here for. But thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you next year.
All right, no problem. That's Coach Mike from Lynn Classical. You guys been watching the Plus One interview. Have a great day. All right, and we are back. Thank you, Coach Mike, for that, and also congratulations to him and the ladies of the Lynn Classical soccer program on winning the GBL Cup. All right, let's go. Quick high school football throwback. Lynn English versus Gloucester, 2005. This game went to overtime. This was the first time English beat Gloucester in some years. Like, it was a big deal.
What year was this?
2005. All right, and we are back. We're going to quickly go around the world of sports. The Red Sox last night lost to the Blue Jays 8-0, but the Red Sox they're 25-18, still first in the AL East. So their two teams are back at it tonight, 7:37. In hockey, the Bruins and the Capitals are tied at 1 game apiece in their first round playoff matchup. The Bruins won in overtime in game 2. pretty wild game. Game 2 it was. So they're back at it tonight again. I believe the puck drops at 6:30 p.m. So come on, Bruins. We need we need y'all. We need y'all to make this run. You know, life's a lot better when y'all make this run. And yeah, that's about it. Time reasons. Those are the only sports update we're giving y'all. There was a college coach that just got indicted for extortion. I forget his name, but men's college basketball.
Really?
Yeah, man. Let me see if I can find his name real quick.
It made my ear raise.
Yeah.
I've been like anti-sport the past couple of days. I don't know what my problem is. I need to get back in the mode. You know how I get some weeks, man.
I can't find it right now, but I was reading earlier. I completely forgot his name, but yeah, he got indicted. I don't know why I was laughing, but I was laughing when I read the story. Getting indicted for extortion. Oh, man. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, NBA Top 10, and we're going to come back and wrap this thing up. And we are coming to a close, man. It's been a good one. Before we get up out of here, we want to congratulate all the class of 2021 graduates. All you kids graduating college, getting your bachelor's degrees, or have already graduated, or are soon to graduate. Congratulations to all y'all getting your bachelor's, master's, PhDs, and all that. Congratulations to everybody.
Also, too, after school on Tuesdays, for those who go to Thurgood Marshall to actually go into the building, we have a clinic from 1:30 to 3:30, basketball clinic after school. I helped run it. It was a success yesterday.
Yes, sir. And also, congratulations to English girls, Rosie, Nia, and who was the other one? There was one more that was named Maddie. They were named All Stars, GBL All Stars. So, congratulations to them for that. You know, and step forward for next year. Now their expectations is getting low. It's getting higher. They got higher expectations when you get these type of things. So hopefully they put in the work and they can make a run next year. And there was some other people. Also, Jaden Thornton and Alex Garcia from Lynn Classical Boys. They were named GBL All Stars. I don't know who they put out. Who from Lynn English Boys made it. Still, when they put that out, we'll let you know. Yeah, that's of that. And we want to say rest in peace to Pudge, who passed away yesterday afternoon. Pudge was a good dude. Everybody liked Pudge.
Man,
genuine dude, genuine guy. So we want to say rest in peace to him and condolences to his family.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah. That's all we got for y'all. That's all we got. Oh, we might be back in the studio soon. So
we should be.
Keep on the look. Our studio is kind of under reconstruction right now too. So, but
it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
it'll be done soon, and we'll be back in the studio soon. There's gonna be some upgrades in there, so make sure you keep in touch with us. Make sure you visit lyntv.org to catch up with everything that you need to catch up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Lynn Community Television. Make sure you follow him on Instagram, Mr. Burton23. Follow me, Mukala K, on Instagram. LCTV After the Whistle on Instagram. And all that good stuff. So be on the lookout. We're going to be open to the public soon, so we could be back in the studio with our guy Pedro doing the nonsense behind the scene. Have a great weekend, everybody.
I'll be in a better mood next week.